So now that everything is done, it's time to export these. So let's go back to the diffuse. Let's start off with exporting the diffuse. Now again, go to image size. 10 for 2048 does seem kind of big. I think a 1024 might work out fine for me. So I'm going to go for 1024. Again, always start off with bigger sizes first and then scale down if need be, like as you see here. 2048 might be too big for this model, so I'm going to go for a 1024. Press OK. And that's ready to be saved out now. You go File, Save As, and the best thing to do is save it to your Maya file and under Source Images. Now, there are certain file types that you should be using. You can use a BMP or you can use a Targa. I'm going to go for a Targa for this one, as I already have a BMP one already saved. And make sure to name it correctly, so you might want to call it DAW underscore diffuse or underscore D, to reference as a diffuse. Call it whatever you want, but make sure your naming conventions are consistent. So if this is a diffuse, call it a diffuse. If it's a normal map, you might want to put underscore N or underscore S for a specular map. As long as you're using the same naming conventions for everything, you or your partner will know exactly what's what. So I'll call it that diffuse. A 24-bit. Again, this is sort of like to condense it if you wish to. 24 bits / pixels will be fine. Save it, and I'll do the same for the others as well for the normal maps. File, save as a Targa, N for normal. And then for this, save as Targa S. I believe I said that's the wrong folders. So now I can apply on there. So if you need to apply it, you go to Windows, Rendering Editors, Hypershade. So because we have a specular map, we can't use a normal Lambert. If I click on the Lambert here, go to its properties, attribute editor, you can see there's no option for a specular map. What you want to use is you want to use a Blinn. This has the specular color here, so I'll start attaching the yeah, sorry about that. I appear to have accidentally saved it out into the wrong places, so I'm just going to open that. And then for the specular, that goes in the specular color. File, load the file up, be the S. There we go. Now what I'm going to do now is attach that to the model. So I put a bit of a light to it. As you can see, this is the final version. It's not amazing, I know. It's done really quickly. I can probably go in and smooth these out. If there's some areas that you don't like, so say for example, I don't like the look of these buttons here. Sorry, the edges around that. I can just go in and use the blur tool and just smoothing out those edges a little bit. So again, you can go ahead and edit these a little if you need to. You can kind of see how smoothing out, so you've just done it there. I will say one thing is that don't really trust Maya completely when it comes to rendering out your objects. Always try to render it out in a game engine. Sometimes it might look weird in Maya. If you render it out, say here, looks a little bit better. You can use some of the rendering techniques to make it look a bit better. But I always say try it out in the game engine, see how it looks there, because Maya can sometimes look very different compared to in-engine. But this seems to be okay for now. So that's how to create normal maps and specular maps. Again, this is a really quick tutorial showing it off. If you're going to be creating any sort of normal map or bump map, make sure to take your time, to create something really high quality. Again, I think this looks relatively decent. There's obviously some places that I could definitely improve this on. But yeah, give it a try. And again, just experiment with Photoshop. Just mess around with some of the tools that are available. Again, look online, do some research, read some books on the subject to help you really refine your specular normals and your diffusers.